Hi guys, today I will show you how to change the hop-up rubber or the hop-up bucking on CZ Shadow 2 by ASG. Also, I'm gonna show you one of my biggest issue with that specific pistol while going there, and as a bonus at the end I'm gonna show you how not to break your ASG pistol. Why I do want to change the hop-up rubber on Shadow 2 by ASG, as it is already one of the greatest pistols out there, because that pistol requires too many shots, in my opinion, to warm up the hop-up rubber. For me, that pistol needs at least 15 to 20 shots to warm up the hop-up to start performing as it's supposed to be and to be at the top level. And generally, I blame the hop-up rubber for this. Usually the stock hop-up buckings are not the best out of the box, so if you want some nice improvements, this is usually the cheapest way to get some. What I'm going to install today is the modified Predator hop-up bucking. One person that is really familiar with the airsoft pistols and specifically the CZ Shadow 2 recommended me that specific bucking and recommended me 50 degrees. However, it's advertised for Mod 24, ASG 24 and Steyr Scout. Keep in mind, maybe I don't have the best tools available today, I'll do it with whatever I have. And maybe I'm not doing it the best possible way. If somebody knows a better approach, solution to this, let me know in the comments. So, in order to start with this one, we need to remove the magazine. We don't need that one. Now we need to disassemble the slide. How we remove the slide? We need to align those two small notches on the slide and the body. Once aligned, we're gonna press the pin from the right side with our finger to pop that pin right here and take it out. From here, slide and take out the slide. Keep in mind, it could be a little bit tricky, but if you follow the steps and operations here, you should be pretty good to go. In order to get to the hop-up, we need to take out the inner barrel. To do that, first we need to remove the housing with the bucking and everything. From here we remove the spring, and then we're gonna take out the outer and the inner barrel where we can separate them and work on the inner barrel itself. Being here, I'm gonna show you my biggest struggle with this specific pistol. It's literally that white spacer right here at the end of the spring. So if you can see, it is already pretty damaged. It's some kind of soft plastic, I would say, or maybe silicone, I'm not sure. From the beginning, when I got that pistol, maybe a few weeks later, that started to get damaged from the slides, from the internal parts of the pistols, and small pieces were ripped off from it and started to get stuck inside of the frame and the internals of the pistol. That results in multiple malfunctions, like it wasn't able to get a proper reload, it wasn't able to cycle properly. Sometimes I had issues with the trigger until I disassembled the slide and I saw that there are pieces of this plastic everywhere around the internals. Of course, once you remove all those pieces of plastic, everything starts to function again and it's pretty good to go. I should be able to find and replace it pretty easy. So if you have such similar problems, especially with malfunctions on the CZ Shadow 2 from ASG, the first thing you need to check is that piece right here. So let's continue with the general purpose of this video. In order to remove the housing and to release everything, we need to unscrew that piece at the back right here. So you're gonna need an Allen key for that one. So here is the screw, put it aside, make sure you don't lose it. Once we remove the screw, hold that metal piece right here and push it all the way to the front with the spring itself. You'll see that this is already popping out. Keep in mind there is a really small spring just beneath that part, the nozzle, so make sure you don't lose it. Put this one aside. Here is the spring right here. Better take it out, and once we start to assemble the slide back, we're gonna insert it right here. From here we want to push the spring, only the spring guide, all the way to the front with one finger like this, and now push the inner barrel a little bit forward, then pull it down, and you need to be able to take it out just like this. Release slowly the spring so it doesn't fly out. And here is the trickiest part. In order to get the inner barrel out of it with the chamber, because you need it if you want to change the hop-up rubber, there is a pin on the left side of it that holds it into place. On some pistols it's possible to take out the inner barrel without removing the pin, with a little bit of push. However, this one is pretty tight here and I couldn't find any possible way to take it out without removing that pin. And how you do that? Usually you want to use a punch out tool like this one. The problem is that the insertion point, or the opposite of that pin, it is right here. If you can spot it, it's barely noticeable, and literally that tiny tool that I have, it's not possible to reach the pin itself. So for this one you'll need something thinner than that tool. What I found out is that I can use one of my smallest screwdriver, that literally I can reach it like this. From here I'm gonna use some force. Ideally you should have a rubber hammer or something like this, and slowly you're gonna punch it out till it's completely out of the hole. If you push a little bit yourself, you're gonna be able to get the punch tool just beneath the outer barrel and should do the work. Let's see. And here is the pin. Okay, put that aside, you're gonna need it later. Once the pin is removed, we can easily take out the inner barrel from the outer barrel. That's the inner barrel, and this is the hop-up chamber. In order to change the hop-up rubber, we need to open the chamber by unscrewing those two small screws. Before doing that, you first want to remove any hop-up so it can release the rubber already. So usually you're gonna go anti-clockwise, at least for the Shadow 2. This is how you go. And we want to remove those two pieces. Be gentle with those screws, because if you damage them, you're gonna have a hard time. So from here, be careful, because usually there are some internal parts. Just make sure it's clean around your desk and you don't lose anything. Pop up the top part and you will see you have the bottom. You have the hop-up ring. It's actually a ring, that piece right here. And we have the hop-up rubber. This is the original that came with that piece too. Now we want to take this one out and install the new one. So usually there is one cut right here at the end of the rubber that the rubber catches on it. So don't force it too much to damage the rubber. Just try to be gentle here. You don't want to throw that one, you want to have it as a spare part and put it aside. So how to install it? The cut right here in the barrel, it's for the hop-up contact point. You can see it in one of the inside walls of the hop-up rubber. On the opposite side, at the bottom of the barrel, there is a deep cut that need to be aligned in a small notch in the hop-up bucking itself. So it's pretty easy to make sure you install it. Once you install it, you can twist a little bit and for sure it's gonna go into place. Which one is the front of the rubber? That piece on the side is sticking to the end of the rubber. So it's gonna go this way. Let me align it. So you push it up to the first channel to get into it and just twist a little bit and it's all on place. In order to confirm, you can take a look on the inside of the inner barrel and you should be able to see the contact point right there at that cut. So this one bucking, it does actually fits pretty well on that inner barrel. And here I want to show you the bonus, how not to break your ASG Shadow 2 pistol, or how I did broke it at least. So this is the hop-up ring. When inserted around the hop-up and you screw that at the bottom, usually it compresses the rubber, and at that point the contact points get lower and make a contact to the BB. However, I somehow did manage to break that one. If you see right here, how did I broke it? I'm not sure. The only possible way for me is if I had tried to apply too much hop up at one point, which I believe I did in one or two occasions for some reason. So that could be the reason. Else it could be just a defect in the ring itself that due to the high pressure or the vibration of the pistol itself, it got damage whatsoever. General advice, don't push the hop up too much at the end. And also, if you see your hop up completely off and completely not working, just take a look on that small piece. So now we need to assemble everything back again. We have the ring. Ignore that mine is currently broken, but just for the sake of the video, I'll need to assemble everything back again. So the ring has a small cut that needs to align with the notch on the hop up, which is usually on the right side. This is how it goes. This is the top, and usually the notch is on the right side. We need to align those and to put it back into the hop up chamber. You see that horizontal cut right here. This is for the same notch on the bucking that needs to go inside. Something else also you need to take care for is the ring itself. At the bottom there is a small spring. That spring needs to be aligned with the inside part here of the frame. So just like here, the spring is inside and only the notch on the outside. Make a final check that everything is aligned and put the top part of the chamber on the top of it. Press it with your fingers, just make sure everything is aligned and there is no free space coming from anywhere. If so, we're inserting the screws back in it. If something is not aligned, just disassemble it, check again everything, make sure nothing is under pressure or nothing is sticking out, and then put it back again. We want to insert back the inner barrel into the outer barrel. Keep in mind there is a narrow entry in the barrel, so if you go like this and you cannot insert it, just make sure you align it with the entry there. Hop, and you should be able to push it all the way to the front. Now we want to insert the pin back in that hole from the same side that we take it out. And you do want to insert it with the same direction as you take it out. From here I'm gonna use another punch tool to do that job, and I will need just to make sure it's kind of aligned with the lower frame of the outer barrel. You don't want to be sticking out of it. Also, you don't want to be sticking out from the other side just because it's gonna mess up with the movement of the barrel. Just like this. From here, take out the slide back and we're gonna insert the outer barrel right here. And we're gonna put the spring catch with the spring. Push it all the way to the front and then stick it back. From here, don't forget to put the nozzle spring into that channel before putting and installing the nozzle, else you're gonna have hard times with the pistol. And again, with one finger, push the whole mechanism to the front, insert that spring in the channel and push it up to the forward. You see there is a few millimeters at the end of it. That space there is for that small catch right here at the back of this part. And you want to make sure it's aligned and on place. So from here, make sure there is a space for this thing. Put it all the way to the back and then slowly push it down. Like this. How to make sure everything is on place? In order to make sure the spring is working and on place, this is how to do it. Release slowly the barrel to get everything into its place, and what's left is just to screw that part at the back. Now let's assemble the pistol again. Just align the slide guides, the rails on both sides with the one on the body. Also make sure the magazine is out. Slide it all the way back, then slowly forward. We want again to align those two cuts right here on the frame and the body, like this one. And now we can safely insert the pin with the long one going into the round hole, this one at the back, push it a little bit, and now we can release. So guys, if any of you know where I can find that spare part, that hop-up ring or whatever is called there for the shallow tube, please let me know in the comments. You're gonna save me some time. Or if you have any general comments on the video, let me know. And of course, once I have fixed my ring issue, I'm gonna make a video on how this hop-up performs and if there is any improvement at all with that piece tool. Thank you for watching guys and have a great day.